Hey there, everyone. It's meteorologist Parker Beasley. Kind of wanted to recap this past weekend's severe weather, not just here, but across the country. And so we're going to look at some of our national wind reports. We had quite a few, to say the least, across the board, all the way from LA and the west coast of California, all the way out to the east coast. You can see there's hundreds of wind reports, both non-severe thunderstorm and severe thunderstorm winds are included in that. And we also had a bit of rotation in the atmosphere across the last 3 days over the course of this event, where we had that level 4 moderate risk in place for the Midwest, and then that level 5 out of 5 high risk for parts of Dixie Alley on Saturday. Then a couple of isolated tornadoes did occur yesterday, and we also had a lot of hail reports across the board. We were talking 2 inches plus in diameter for some areas, some as close as Greensboro, just to our south in North Carolina. Flood reports were a little bit harder to come by, but we did still have some close to home in eastern Virginia, just outside of the Richmond area, towards Virginia Beach. But the main thing I want to talk about in this video is the atmospheric sounding. So on the left here, we have weather balloon data from the morning. On the right, we have weather balloon data from the evening. As you see, we've got a classic supercell structure that is anticipated from both the morning and afternoon. We've got CAPE, which is convective available potential energy at 213, which is not super high, but it's something to work with for storms to get going. Then we had a little bit of SIN, which is -1, which is actually this little cap that we see that I've circled here, where temperature increases with height rather than decreasing. And that's not atypical for most mornings, especially when you have a clear morning. But if you remember, it was cloudy. We had cloudy skies pretty much all Sunday morning through the early afternoon hours, and that's a big factor in why we didn't see so much severe weather in our neck of the woods. We'll talk about that in a second. And then over in the afternoon, we had a little bit of drying out. We had clearer skies build in. The mid and upper levels were starting to dry out, which added temperatures getting up there into the 70s, which continues to add that convective available potential energy. So we see our CAPE values near 700. SIN is at 0. Thunderstorms are ready to get booming. But they really didn't reach their fullest potential. And the reason because of that is based on the timing of the jet stream, where it's located on the screen here plays a big role. The timing of temperatures getting up there and where the front was and where our winds out of the northwest were. So there's a lot of components that have to come together for severe weather to really have a large impact and really reach its highest potential, but it really didn't. What I've highlighted here is the left exit region relative to motion of the jet. It's moving from southwest to northeast here, and the right entrance region to the jet. These are the two areas that we look at where you have rising motion or ascending motion at the lower levels, and then divergence aloft. This is just mass that is funneling in from beneath and then going up and circulating out. Those are the two things and the two areas that you look for in thunderstorm growth, and we just didn't have that really yesterday. The timing and the alignment of the jet wasn't there with us, which is good news. We're not complaining about that, but that's why we didn't see the coverage as high. That's why we had only about 12 to 14 severe thunderstorm warnings. We did have a tornado watch go in place for parts of Lynchburg and Southside. Thankfully, the thunderstorms didn't rotate enough to really cause any tornado warnings to get warned or put out in place. So we are thankful of that. But for those that did see some of the storms move over their areas, there was some really heavy rain, there was some gusty wind, and even some hail embedded in there. So hopefully you've learned something from this video, and hopefully the next time severe weather comes around, you can understand a little bit more of the things that we look at behind the scenes.